Hello amigos, como está? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dan. Welcome to the very last episode of this Chivas Clausura 2024 series. A really epic season and series for me personally. I think the interactions and the comments and likes in this series in particular has been phenomenal. Probably the best season ever in regards to Chivas. So really, just from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for that. Also, I just want to apologise it's so late. This video is probably about a week too late. I caught COVID about a week ago, so I've been off sick for a while, and obviously coughing and sneezing and losing my voice and all that. So I couldn't really record until now, which is unfortunate. But I'm here now, so we'll just get this conclusion to the season underway right now. So obviously we're in the semi-finals of the Casora and Liguilla, sorry, and we did alright. We had a really good season. I think we managed to get Liguilla straight. We didn't have to do the rapid chat trade crap, and I think for Gago'S first season, I think it was a really good season for us. Then we got to the gear, like I said, and we reached the semi-finals, and obviously we get Club America again. I feel like we played them 17 times this season. We played them way too much this season, I think. I'm just kind of sick of it now. The first leg was a 0-0 at home. I thought it was a decent first leg, in my opinion. Attacking-wise, not, but defensively we were really, really solid. And you're thinking, okay, if we should have got the win. I felt like we should have got the win in the Aquan. I think that was an opportunity missed. I knew that going to the Azteca was going to be a little bit more difficult. It always is. But we held our own at the Aquan, I feel. I think it was an even game. Both legs, actually. I mean, obviously, I want to say the second leg of the Azteca finished 1-0 to Club America, and they managed to go through to the final and play Cruz Azul. So, I feel like I'll get to America in a minute, but I think overall both legs were poor from Chivas. I mean, I say that defensively we were really good. Our goalkeeper is really good. Rangel had a really good first Liguilla tournament, and yeah, like I think he conceded 17 goals in 17 games, which is absolutely crazy. People think Malagon's better goalkeeper than him. I think it's a bit of a debate, to be honest with you, and that's pretty astounding considering their age difference. But yeah, so I think it was poor. Like attacking wise, we were very poor. All of our attacking players were just poor. Piojo wasn't on it, and I feel like this season, if Piojo's not on it, we're not on it. Pocho, I think he started both games, but he couldn't really provide anything attacking wise. K. Cal didn't have any impact. Padilla doesn't get on the pitch. I'll get to him in a minute. So yeah, Brizuela as well. Just all the attacking players who just let us down. Chicharito let us down. I think he had a really good chance in the Akron, which he missed. Or it might have been the Azteca. I can't remember that. It's a bit of a blur now, to be honest with you. But yeah, so I mean, all of our attacking players let us down, and made it easy for America, to be honest with you. But America weren't playing that great either. They had a few chances, I guess, but Rangel saved it. I mean, Mozo was doing really well. Chiquete, Tebow, both solid defensively, and even Castillo playing at left back. I mean, you could tell it's an absolute makeshift left back. But Castillo made the left back spot his own. I think he deserves to be left back going into next season, providing he's happy playing left backs. I know that he's a right back or centre back. So yeah, it's kind of tale of two halves, really. Like defensively, we were outstanding. I think it's very rare for me as a Chivas fan lately to be quite so comfortable with our defence. Normally it's our goalkeeper making an error or our defence is all over the place. I mean, a couple of years ago, I mean like a year ago even, I was complaining about our defence and how old they were and how leaky they were, and we were scoring goals, and we scored a lot of goals under Pauno. So it's kind of swapped. I feel like Paunovic, we scored a lot of goals, we conceded a lot of goals, but we did well attacking wise. That got us through. Now it's kind of flipped. The Gago'S made us defensively solid, but not really good attacking wise. Chicharito hasn't done near as much as I hoped he had. I wasn't expecting too much from him. I mean, he wasn't going to be my starting striker. I thought he was going to be an impact sub mainly. But he hasn't even done that really. I mean, I think he's got one goal and one assist, which is pretty poor. But again, maybe he's just finding his stride. Maybe he's just coming to the very, very end of his career. I don't know. But yeah, but overall, those two games were poor. I think America were poor as well. Henry Martin wasn't on it at all. Quinones didn't do anything. Zendejas as well was poor, in my opinion. But Zendejas in particular got a lot of praise for particularly the Azteca game, and I was like, I didn't see it. I thought he was ghosted running around like a headless chicken. Um, so I mean, yeah, like I said, I think both teams didn't fill me in with confidence. I thought at one point in the Azteca game, I remember thinking like, mate, either one of these two teams are going to get smoked in the final because yeah, both these teams. It was just poor. It was a poor two-legged game, two games, and it was just yeah. I mean, I was disappointed in both teams. But congratulations to America. I think their fans were a little bit too arrogant, a little bit too outspoken after their game, especially that second game. Like I said, they were poor. They weren't that great. They weren't the America of a year ago or 2 years ago. They were very poor. They've been off it this season, whole in general, in my opinion, and I don't think it's getting talked about that much, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. American fans are always going to be arrogant. They've got the trophies to back that up, so you got to accept that. I just felt like, mate, really, you had a really poor 2 games. It was a poor 2 games. You couldn't score on us at the Aquan, and even that goal. I mean, it's an alright header. You can tell in slow mo that it wasn't the header that he was aiming for. Um, and yeah, I mean, it was a fluke. If I'm being honest, it makes me sound bitter. Maybe I am, but that's the only way you're going to beat Rangel at the moment is by fluke. So 1-0 victory over 2 legs. Enjoy it, I guess. They've just finished 1-1 the first leg of the final with Cruz Azul, so I have real doubts about whether they're actually going to be able to win that game. I think Cruz Azul might actually get this title. But yeah, going on from that, because I wanted to get the negative stuff out of the way. I think positive wise, there's lots to be positive about this team. I've been wanting to say it for the last week, but I haven't been able to. I think the ultimate positive has got to be Tala Rangel. I've been going on about him all season. Before this season, when people were saying, well, I think Wally's going to be the new number one, and I was thinking, no, give Rangel the chance, man. Rangel's a great goalkeeper, and he deserves a chance in the first team. And what season he's had is already in the Mexico lineup. Whether he goes to Copa America, I'm not sure. Whether he plays in the Copa America, it's doubtful. I think Malagon seems to be the guy right now, which is fair enough. Give him his due. I guess Malagon's a decent goalkeeper, but I don't think Rangel is that far off Malagon. If I'm being brutally honest, off of this past season, sure, it's only one season, one tournament, but I don't see much difference between them two, other than their age. I think Rangel is like 4 years younger than Malagon, but. Yeah, so I think he's the player of the season for me. Outstanding. He's come in. The goalkeeper position has been a dodgy one for a while. Godino, Tonio Rodriguez, they were kind of fighting for a bit. They both were kind of good goalkeepers, but just not good enough. And then obviously Wacho coming in, he was a bit of a. I mean, he had one good season, if I remember rightly, but apart from that, he's just a dodgy goalkeeper, and I think he's going to be the first player out this summer, by the way. So yeah, it's just really good. He's come in, he's young, he's been through our youth system, and now he's our number one goalkeeper, and one of, if not the best goalkeeper in, at least the Mexican goalkeeper in the league right now. I think, if America do win this title, then you have to say Malagon's a better goalkeeper, but like I said, it's not by much. There's not much difference between them two. I think, give Rangel another 2 or 3 years at Chivas, let him perfect his craft, and I think he's going to be a top goalkeeper. And there's already talks about him going to Europe one day. So, also another one is Chiquete. He's an outstanding defender. I mean, he's had an outstanding season. I think, there's stats. There's people that follow stats. I don't really follow too much stats. It's nice to read, and nice when somebody else says it, but I don't really have the time to kind of go into it. But I feel like I think somebody posted stats about him being statistically the best centre back in the league this season, which is great. Again, already talks about him going to Europe. There's a swap thing, PSV about Lozano coming the other way. I don't think that's going to happen. But it's nice to see that he's got links to Europe already. I hope he holds off for a year or so. Because I feel like we really do need to win a trophy now. I mean, it's been too long now. And yeah, I think he helps us do that. I mean, it's a massive blow to Chivas if we lose him. It would be great for him to go to Europe, and I'll be happy about that. But it's a massive loss if we lose him. And obviously Tiba, everyone hated Tiba for a while. I never really understood it. I mean, I knew he had a mistake in him, but I feel like centre backs are a dodgy position. You have to go through a lot of crap to become a good centre back. And I feel like he's just getting to his prime now, where he's it's clicked for him, and I think he's got a good partnership with Chiquete. I think they're both blatantly our best centre back pairings now. So hopefully we can keep that. Let's talk about him going to Tigres. I think that's absolute BS. Chivas don't need to sell players anymore. Let's talk about Hero having 25 million. I don't take that with a grain of salt, but at the end of the day, I think the days of Chivas having to sell their best players to get money, I think that's done now. And hopefully we keep him. They was talking about we swapping him with Cordova. I really don't want Cordova. Maybe he offers us something different attacking wise. Maybe he might be the answer to our attacking problem. But I don't really rate Cordova that much. I think he's a player that's decent and has really good flashes, but then it's just decent that disappears. He's not consistent in my opinion. If we're gonna lose Tiba, I want to get someone a lot better than Cordova. But I'd rather keep Cordova and have them keep I'd rather keep Tiba, sorry, and have them keep Cordova because I just feel like Tiba is much more important to our team than he would be. But yeah, I mean, I would have to say the best signing of the summer has got to be Castillo. And who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? He had a bit of a run. I think he played the first couple of games right back. Or it might have been centre back. He did have a good time. He was at the team for a while, and then we had a bit of a crisis at left back, and Gago just stuck Castillo. It felt like he just stuck Castillo in there just as a stopgap, and Castillo ended up doing really well. I mean, I thought he had a really good end to the season. I think he had a really good Liguilla at left back, and like I said, I hope he deserves a chance to stay there next tournament and see how well he does because he's a good player. He's a good defender, and I think he might be our missing left back spot place. I mean, people still talking about bringing in another left back, but I'm not. I'm alright at the moment. I think Castillo's decent. So yeah, I mean, like I said, negatives. Chicharito hasn't done well. Cal for me started off alright. Got a couple of goals, I think, but then he kind of fizzled out and he hasn't been that great. He was starting at one point and he kind of blatantly got relegated to the bench, and he's still young, he's still got developing to do, so you have to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's not going great. It wasn't a great Liguilla for him at all. And yeah, and obviously Marin had a really good, I felt like he had a really good league, but he absolutely ghosted Liguilla for me. Piojo was probably our best outfield player. Just scored absolute world-class goals. I mean, he scored multiple goals this season that were epic, and yeah, he's our best player. So that's a little bit of a worry because Piojo is a really good player, but I don't want Piojo being our best outfield player. Pocho was a bit stop-start. He scored a couple of really good, really important goals for us, really good goals, but for whatever reason he's not starting, so I'm a bit worried about him. I'm hoping that he can stay in the first team. I think he's the leader on the pitch. People talk about his goals and assists. I think he's not there to score for me. I think he's there to marshal our players and tell them where to go, and he's not there to be lightning fast, pacey. He's there to be a captain. I think Chicharito coming in has kind of destabilised that for him a little bit. But hopefully he stays. I think he's one of our important players. I think we will miss him if he goes. So hopefully he stays. Our midfield's pretty decent. Gutierrez got an injury, which I think we missed against America in that second leg, and he's been one of our best midfielders. I think he's really become slowly but surely our best midfielder in my opinion. He had a really shaky start at Chivas, but he got into it, and I think he's, like I said, one of our best midfielders. Beltran as well, I think he had a decent season. Could have been better, could have been worse. But I think overall he's done alright. So overall, I think it's decent. I think people talk about signings and stuff all day long, and I think striking position is glaringly obvious. JJ Macias looks like he's out. Whether that's injury proneness, whether that's just something that Gago just doesn't like. I think JJ's been fit for the last month or two, just hasn't been featured, not even called up, not even been on bench. So blatantly obvious that he's probably going to leave. Probably best for both. I would like to have kept him. I would like to have kept him and chucked him on instead of Chicharito at times. I think he offers a slightly different, but maybe they're just giving him this time off more. Maybe really establish his fitness, give him a good summer, and then sell him. Or loan him out. Let's talk about loaning him out. So maybe I think he doesn't play for Chivas next season. Is what I'm trying to say. Maybe we sell him. Maybe we loan him. I don't know. Let's talk about him going to Leon or Santos. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him. But I just don't think he's going to stay at Chivas. As I said about Marin, Gago seems to really like Marin. Whether that's because the only alternative right now is Chicharito, and Chicharito blatantly can't play every game. Marin's a hard one because he's scored some important goals. He scored a few goals for us. He disappears when we really need him. He pops up when we're not expecting him to pop up. Like the first couple of games of the season, he scores a few, but then he disappears when we really need a really good striker. So it'll be interesting to see if we keep him. I think we will keep him. I think he'll be the one that we'll keep. I think Chicharito will probably be phased out quite quickly, in my opinion. I don't say that lightly. I mean, he's a legend of the game. He's a Mexican football legend. He's a legend of Chivas. I just think that I think this season in particular, I think every Chivas fan is silently in their heads gone, well, he's not long for retirement because I wasn't expecting him to go and start banging in goals left, right, and centre. His age, his recent injury history goes against him. But I felt like he could at least come in on a 65, 75 minute and really, really threaten a tired defence, and he hasn't really done that. Maybe he does it in the next tournament. It proves me wrong. I don't know. I just feel like striking wise, Marin's a bit of a question mark. JJ Macias is a huge question mark. Chicharito is a question mark as well. So at the moment, do we bring another striker in? There's talk of us bringing in a striker, but maybe we go to our youth system again. I mean, I've been banging on about Armando Gonzalez. There was a photo that came out recently in the last week or so, last few days actually, of him and Chicharito obviously in training together. I think Armando Gonzalez could be dangerous, and maybe we just give him a try. Maybe we don't go out and spend. I mean, let's talk about 25 million, and it probably would cost upwards of 20 million, probably, I think, to get a really good striker in, Mexican striker, from within the league, let alone from anywhere else. There's not really a Mexican. Maybe Raul Jimenez, but he's never going to go to Chivas. So maybe we save that and we give Armando Gonzalez a chance. I mean, I felt like in the league last year, I mean, he played in the first game against Forge, I think, in the CONCACAF Champions League, or the Champions Cup, or whatever it was. Didn't play in the second leg, and I felt like he deserved a chance in the league. With Marin being so off, with JJ Macias not in the squad at all, and with Chicharito kind of being not off or not on at all, I was screaming out, like, why not just put Armando Gonzalez on the bench, start Marin, and if Marin hasn't done anything by minute 70, just chuck Armando Gonzalez on. He's hungry as. He's doing really, really well with their youth team, U23s. I think he scored 2 goals on his birthday about a month ago. So yeah, why not give him a chance? We've got a really class youth system. Tapatio and U23s didn't win their leagues, but the under 18s did. We have a really good youth system with really good players. Maybe Rangel came from there. I want to say Castillo did, but he didn't resign it. But Padilla as well. Like, for me, Padilla, Brigida, and Gonzalez need to be given chances next season. I think Padilla in particular was hard done by. He couldn't even play for the under 23s because he was constantly on the bench for the senior team. Not sure why Gago didn't want him. I think what it is, I think part of it is, well, we just bought Cal in. You need to start playing Cal because we just paid money for him. Maybe now, after this tournament, Gago has a bit of leverage and goes, okay, look, Cal hasn't done that great. I want to give Padilla more of a chance because he did really well under Paunovic. He was doing phenomenally well. He was the guy for a little while that you could look at, go, that's the youth team right there. So hopefully hopefully all three of them get a chance. Maybe we don't go out and sign these big players. Maybe we start bringing our brilliant young players into the first team. And I think those three deserve a chance. And there's more. There's undoubtedly more in the U23s and the U18s that I could probably list out, but I won't for now. I think those three are it. Yeah, why not give Armando Gonzalez a chance? Maybe give him a chance in game one of the next tournament. And maybe the good thing about youth players is what they lack in technicality and what they lack in experience, they make up for in the fire, the excitement, the urge to want to prove themselves, and they're young as well, so they've got the energy to back that up. So maybe he scores a really good couple of goals, and everyone starts thinking, wow, this guy's good, and then by the end of next season he's an established striker, and we've saved ourselves like $20 million in the process. I don't know. I just feel like those three in particular need to be given more chances. I think players like Chicharito, Brizuela need to be kind of slightly phased out a little bit. Bring Brigido and Padilla in the winger spots, and yeah, give Armando Gonzalez his chance as striker. There's also talk, and I want to end this on this video because I don't want to talk too much about transfers just yet because obviously nothing's happened yet. It's just a load of rumours, as we all know, no one knows what's real and what's not. Yeah, last thing I want to talk about is Jesus Sanchez. He put out a post a few days ago. It sounded like a goodbye, and I tweeted my friend about it, and I was like, I think he's off, and he's like, no, I think he's retiring. I was like, what? Because I thought he was going to leave. I didn't think he was going to retire. I thought he was going to go to a Mazatlan or maybe to an expansion league team. But it looks like he's retiring. Bless him. Absolute legend of the club. He's played for us for God knows how long. It's a one-man club, so he's won trophies. He's won everything with us. So yeah, it's going to be really sad. I've got one of his signed shirts, which is great. I'm going to get that framed at some point because obviously he's a legend of the club. And legend is thrown around a lot these days. But if a player that plays for the same team has won pretty much every trophy they could win with them, and he's played for years and years and years and years, and that for me that makes him a legend. So I really want to say thank you to him. He's an absolute class player. Never complained, and there was never any kind of rumours of him, kicking up a fuss or anything like that. Even when Mozo kind of came in and took his spot, and he blatantly became a squad member, he never complained. He did all. You can tell that he did everything he could on the pitch. You can just tell that his age is catching up with him, and it was affecting his ability. But especially when you compare it to someone younger like Mozo. But no, absolute class player. Really love him. Sad to see him go, but obviously he probably thinks it's time, which is fair enough. So I just want to end on that, and then yeah, this is going to be my last video for this playlist for this season. Obviously I'll make a new playlist soon. Where we talk about any signings we make, any sales that we make. I think Wacho's going to leave soon. JJ Macias probably goes as well. There's a few others, but again, I'll only do videos as and when it happens because there's no point in talking about rumours because 99% of them don't come off and you just wasted time. So yeah, I'll make videos as and when it happens. Thanks again for watching all these videos and commenting and liking. I mean, there's a core group of you guys. There's a few of you guys that do it regularly, which is absolutely amazing. Shout out to Dan. Dan pretty much does every single Chivas video, which is awesome. And yeah, I just really appreciate it. It's probably been my highest performing season. It's been a great season to talk about, to be honest with you. I mean, Gago'S first season, Rangel, Cal coming in, Chicharito coming back. It's been a really good season, a really fun season. At no point has it ever really felt negative or stressful or aggravating. I mean, there's been disappointing results, sure, but overall, it's been quite an entertaining season, and I feel like that's conveyed in my videos and conveyed in you guys watching. So yeah, I just really appreciate you guys, and stay tuned because there's going to be loads more coming, provided I don't get COVID again. So yeah, appreciate you guys, love you guys, and subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate you join this epic community that we're growing in this channel and other channels as well. If you've got a YouTube channel that you watch my videos regularly and you've got a channel I haven't subscribed, give me a comment or DM me on Twitter or anything like that, and let me know and I'll subscribe to you back, because obviously we want to grow this community in English as well, because obviously my English is my mother tongue, and yeah, I think there's a lot of potential English content out there. I mean, English content is growing in regards to Chivas especially. I mean, they've got the English account, they've got English series, We Got You, We Get to Know You. Love those guys, those guys are epic. And yeah, so it's growing. I mean, I think back to, 10 years ago when I first started, like, falling in love with Mexican football. I just remember thinking there was hardly any English speaking podcasts, or there's no podcasts at all. I mean, there's a couple, but it was mainly just in Spanish, and it's not the same, but it feels way more inclusive now. Maybe because my Spanish is getting a little bit better, or maybe because a lot more people are doing it in English now. I'm not quite sure. I just feel like the English content creators is growing, which is epic. So I want to be a part of that because I feel like I've got a voice and an opinion and something to add to the conversation. And it's all good having conversations. It's all good bantering people, and it's all good taking the mick out of people's teams and stuff. But it's good to talk about your team and what you want for the team, and what players you want and what players you don't want, and where you want the team to go to. And having discussions and conversations rather than arguments is great. So anyway, that's my little one. Not my little one, but my little tangent, I guess. At the end, but yeah, so we appreciate you guys. We appreciate being a part of this community, and hopefully, you guys come back next season and we have another interesting and fun season. Hopefully, which ends in a trophy, because I think Chivas really deserve a trophy. This team deserves a trophy. So, hopefully, touch wood, get one next season. But anyway, guys, have a really good summer. Have a really good few weeks. I don't think any transfer news is going to happen for a couple of weeks at least. So enjoy yourselves, and yeah, forget about the final like I did. I didn't realise it was happening until just now when it was on. So, and yeah, guys, like I said, thank you very much, and come back next season. Take care, and I'll see you guys very soon. Adios.